It was an interview with Brock Purdy. He was interviewed doing a thing for Buffalo Wild Wings, interview for Buffalo Wild Wings. All right, and he was interviewed by several, several people, media trained, and there was one particular interview that went down. One question that was asked by a Yahoo Sports analyst, and I believe she asked him the question, about his recovery and things like that. And I just wanted to read to you guys some of the things that he said throughout the interview. I got a chance to read it, and shout out to 49ers Web Zone for doing the breakdown of it as well. But it says that remains an early step in recovery. Purdy saying Friday he's not really sure, honestly, whether he'll play in 2023 as he takes it one day at a time. All right. And then that was the quote, end quote. In recent days, progress has come in the form of increased mobility. So Purdy is officially out of that cast, that RoboCop arm thingamajiggy. So he's officially out of it, which is good because now he's going to get back into doing little things, working on the mobility of his elbow and throwing motion and things like that. He's not going to be throwing a ball. He's not going to be doing those things, but he'll probably just do some things where he's working through the motions and stuff like that. And then it'll keep increasing. Like it'll go to maybe a golf ball, tennis ball, things like that, up until the time he can grip that football and start whipping that football, all right? Another quote, he says, just to be able to get out of the brace, move around more frequently and stuff like that. I know it sounds small, but that's a big win. So like I said, win number one, Brock Purdy's out of the brace. All right. Purdy said over Zoom, speaking on behalf of Buffalo Wild Wings, that's how I look at it. Finding little things like that to be positive about and understand you have what it takes to get back to being yourself on the football field. All right. So nothing really to report. Like it's not like breaking news. All right. It's not like new news from Brock Purdy. I mean, it's kind of like the news that we knew. Okay. It's kind of like the news that we knew. As far as like he's going to be taking a long time to recover. And Kyle Shanahan told us that, hey, he may be able to go week 1. He might not be able to go to week 4. We don't know. So again, we're still left in the unknown zone when it comes to Brock Purdy. But I just feel like I want to hover around the part where, he's not really sure about playing in 2023, and I just feel like I don't remember hearing him saying anything like that. And so I'm going to read some of your comments. JM16 says, yeah, I think Purdy words getting mixed up. Well, that's fair to say. And I agree with Bomber T. It's not new news. Love the logo too, by the way. That junk is fire. It's definitely not new news. There was one more comment. Oh, Shuddy says Purdy is ahead of schedule. Why you think he takes he takes year out? That would be weird even for baseball. It doesn't even take a year. Well, for baseball it does take a year. So in baseball, if you get the full-blown Tommy John surgery, it takes the full-blown year. It definitely does. I've watched my pitchers do it over and over again. So and then I guess it depends on the person. So again, he didn't have that, right? He didn't have that procedure. So he kind of like had the hybrid procedure. Bomber T, where are you? How do you know about this? Yes, I have. They've actually been on diners, dive-ins, and drives as well. But yes, I've eaten there multiple times. Yeah. All right. So look, not new news, but he did say that, and that kind of lets me, it kind of puts him saying that kind of gives people something to talk about. So whether you guys saying it's been taken out of context, that's your prerogative, right? But then there are people out there that don't take it out of context, that are taking his words verbatim. Eddie G says, Wayne, if you look at the quotation marks, all he said was he wasn't sure. The other words were added. So I'm going to look at it again, and it says, quote, not really sure, honestly, whether he'll play in 2023 as it takes one day at a time. So you're right. They added that part. So that part was added. That's not something that she even, or whoever did the interview, I believe it was, she quoted him even saying, right? That's not even a quote from Brock Purdy. It's more whether he'll play in 23 as he takes it one day at a time. So that's kind of one of those things to kind of be added in there. But I do want to look at this particular type of injury again. I'm not a doctor, right? So I'm not a doctor. I'm not a whatever. But I do want to talk about it because I know a lot of people feel like they just know everything about this type of procedure that he had. And remember, this is a baseball injury, not a football injury. And I feel like the difference, is the fact that he actually got instead of getting his elbow injured off of wear and tear like baseball players do from throwing the ball all the damn time, this actually came off of impact. And I feel like the only person, right, that we can compare him to, the only person is like a Nick Mullins. And if you ask yourself, how did Nick Mullins come back from this particular type of injury? And people will say, like, who is Nick Mullins? Did Nick Mullins rush himself back from the situation? Blah, 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 all that good stuff or whatever. I don't know. All I'm saying is when it comes to Brock Purdy, I don't even want him to think about rushing. I like the fact that he said, I'm going to take it one day at a time, right? If it hurts this day, I gotta chill. I gotta fall back. But see, like as a football player, you kind of can't. As a coach, can you rely on that? Like once your quarterback is cleared to play, like they're cleared to play, right? So then the coach is fully expecting that player to go out on the field and give him 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I'm this is, like I said, this is not big news. This is just something that kind of went down and it's related to Brock Purdy. We're just having a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Judd says, breezy thing is, Brock said he expects to play and is ahead of schedule, and that's a quote. He did say that. And then he said on the next interview, then he said he'll take it one day at a time. So you can't let's just play devil's advocate, because if we just said, all right, if Brock says he's going to take it one day at a time, and that's the second thing that he said after he said this particular thing, which was a quote. I remember him saying that in an interview, I believe with Barrows and David Lombardi, right? Right? If that was the quote that he said in that particular quote, well, the next day he might not have been feeling good, and he said he's going to take it one day at a time. So at the end of the day, it comes down to Brock Purdy's ability, the way he's feeling. He is ahead of schedule, which is good. He's out of the cast. That's another win. Right?